Yo, YouTube, what is up? Radar 25 and my co-host Michael Fontamania.
What up, Mox?
Guys, NXT Takeover 31. We had the debut of the Capital Wrestling Center in the Performance Center. They redid the whole thing. They changed it up as Capital Wrestling Center, an homage to the Capital Wrestling Corporation, started by Vince McMahon's father. A lot going on there. They changed the whole new look. They had virtual fans in there, similar to the Thunderdome, but a lot smaller scale. A lot going on. We had tremendous title matches for this card. This card definitively was better than Takeover 30, the last Takeover. From top to bottom, this was solid from top to bottom, with maybe one of the best matches we've seen in a long time from WWE standpoint, in the main event between Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly. We got a lot to get into. Our whole entire recap and grades for this, because remember, everybody last night was fighting for championships, for glory, and also for as many enhancement talents as they could possibly receive from us. And we're picking the one and only former referee, former enhancement talent, Mickey J. So everybody out there was fighting for as many Mickey J's as they could possibly get. And we're going to let them know how many they got in this video. But before we do, I want to remind you guys, smash the like button. If you're watching this video, you like it, smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this video, you're not subscribed to the channel, hit it. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video, comment on this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you guys are alerted when new videos drop. Follow the social media, the Instagram, the Twitter, follow my Twitch for them live streams, and appreciate any support I can get in there. Also, in the description section below, there's a link for Fight TV. Click on that link, check out Fight TV. Check it out if you want to see MMA, boxing, you want to see TNA, you want to see Impact Wrestling, you want to see AEW, you want to see New Japan Pro Wrestling, you want to see Ring of Honor. The links are in the description below. Click through that, subscribe to that for any of your pay-per-view needs. You want to check any of that stuff out. It's all there on Fight TV, the app. So check that out in the description below. But without further ado, guys, get right into the video, our recap of NXT Takeover 31. And we're starting off with North American Championship match. North American Champion Damian Priest going against Johnny Gargano, Mr. NXT, Mr. Johnny Takeover. And start off by saying, hell of a way to start the show. Hell of a way to start the show. Now, Damian Priest continues to improve and improve and improve. He's obviously taking on Johnny Gargano, who's top of the tippy top of NXT in the professional wrestling. He's obviously playing the heel role. Damian Priest switched into more of a babyface role. He's in the Razor's Edge, so they're really going with the Razor Ramon kind of style, little flair to Damian Priest. He hit the Razor's Edge.
Purple pants too.
Purple pants, yeah. So this is basically Razor Shawn.
This is what right here. Even Johnny had like Shawn Michaels inspired gear. It was Shawn versus Razor. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was. That's exactly what it was. It was hard hitting, hard fought match. Majority of the matches on the night were hard hitting and hard fought. But he continues to improve. Damian Priest does in his high profile matches that he's been in recently, ever since winning the North American Championship, and even a little before that, fighting for that North American Championship against Alexa Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, guys like that. So he continues to improve. Credibility continues to rise. He's one of the top guys in NXT right now, and he went head to head with like pretty much arguably the number one guy in NXT over the past few years. Priest does get the win in this match. He retains his title. I'm pretty sure that we ourselves, predicted that Priest was going to hold on to it because he's still kind of young into the title run, itself. So, that's good right there. I'm not sure what they're going to do, Gargano. He continues to lose a little bit here and there, and he's not really making that much of an impact right now. But the match itself, all Razor's Edges included, we're going to give this one 3.5 Mickey J's. And I just thought it was a tremendous match, tremendous way to start the show off, and tremendous work from Gargano, obviously. And Damian Priest continues, like I said, to improve.
This was Damian Priest's best match, and the coincidence is definitely not a coincidence because Johnny Gargano was the match. He's the number one guy to me in the ring in NXT. One of the top 5 people on the planet for me, in ring. So he of course, Priest had a great match because Gargano can't have a bad match. He makes everybody better, which is smart because he's like this generation Shawn Michaels to me on NXT anyway. He makes any match good. So Damian Priest elevates his title reign. Yeah. He's definitely taking like that whole Razor look and that whole vibe, I think, which is cool. That's fun. Shawn Michaels is basically like one of the head trainers in NXT. So probably bringing that vibe, which is great because the match was great. It pretty much showcase what the night was going to be. You know, that this started the show that every match was going to be a bust-ass match, and this just was a great way to start the show. The match had everything you wanted. You know, some false finishes here and there. Tremendous work by both guys. It really elevates Priest to a different level to me. I think he's way more viable now than when he came in. So that's Gargano did his job. I think right now Gargano is there to elevate guys and kind of wait his time until he's back in the picture. Either again, I think he's going to be back in the picture with the NXT title sooner or later. That's kind of like where I think he's, you know, that makes sense for him to go. I think right now just elevate some guys, bring back the star power in NXT, make some more viable stars and make it interesting. And, you know, this guy's living for NXT, but Gargano's so good. Priest, great job. Best match he's ever had in NXT. I mean, to me, that was the best match he's had.
Yeah, tremendous match. You get 3.5 Mickey J's for that match. They're really going with the Razor influence, Scott Hall influence on Damian Priest, which is cool. Let's see how he pulls it off. Hopefully, you know, I don't think he's gonna go so far into that where he's just the carbon copy of it, but he's gonna play some stuff in there like we've seen with the Razor's Edge and just his mannerisms himself. We'll see how far that goes. Yeah, but they, you know, surprising, you know, Gargano wears the Shawn Michaels influence ring gear, and they're playing it off like that they know they are, and they're doing it. And I think there's really only 3 viable people to take the title off of Finn Balor eventually. One is Gargano, one is Ciampa, one is Karrion Kross. So we'll see how that goes.
Adam Cole, baby, too. Don't forget.
Yeah, Adam Cole too, but I think just right now, I think, you know, Adam Cole's a little bit too recent, so I think it's going to be one of those 3 guys. Obviously, Kross is the last champion who had to relinquish it, so we'll see what happens with all that. But 3.5 Mickey J's for that match. Still, your NXT North American champion Damian Priest. Next thing on the show, we had Kushida versus Velveteen Dream. This all started from a triple threat match and Dream attacking Kushida. After that, Kushida will get his revenge later on, and now we have the match. Kushida's bringing in a whole new look to him, a new style per se. So he continues, with a meaner, more aggressive, more pronounced, style in the ring, which is good because when he first came in, they were kind of just testing him out, see how he would go with the 205 stuff, for going for the cruiserweight championship tournament. Now he's taking on a megastar in Velveteen Dream, who's fallen off due to outside stuff. And obviously you could tell as the way they're booking him, he doesn't show up as much. And he's not winning. So spoiler alert, Kushida won this match. And I'm going to, right off the bat, this one gets 3 Mickey J's right here. Kushida is just absolutely tremendous professional wrestler. And he continues to show it. I do like the meaner, more aggressive style that he's using right now. Yeah. I think it, helps him out a little bit more because he is smaller in stature, and he comes out just like Marty McFly. So, have him come out there and really whip some ass. Velveteen Dream, I'm not sure what they're gonna do with him. I don't know if they're waiting until things subside with this off the, outside of the ring, issues that he's having. But we'll see what happens with that. It was funny because obviously Kushida dresses up like Marty McFly. You had Velveteen Dream coming out looking like Doc Brown, so that was interesting. You had Back to the Future references right there going there.
With the plutonium gloves.
Yeah, the plutonium gloves. Funny stuff. But
gray hair.
He was able to get the submission win. Kushida did so. Kushida wins 3 Mickey J's and another solid performance on a show filled with solid performances.
Yeah, 3 Mickey J's for sure. I love the aggressive style by Kushida. I think it's going to elevate him to a main event type of guy. I continue with this whole vibe of him just, even after the match was over, he just kept attacking him and UFC style forearm, John Jones style forearms right into his face. So I enjoy the like the mean badass. He's like a Wolverine, just small and ready to attack you. So I'm digging that thing. Great match. Velveteen Dream. Sky was looking for that kid a year ago, 6 months ago. We all felt like he was going to take his reign as NXT champion and have a run with it. He's had some legal problems, some issues. A lot of people don't like him. The internet hates him. And the IWC definitely despises him because of what's going on. You're proven, your innocence are proven guilty in this country, so it kind of is what it is. But his stock is really just taking a nosedive. So it is what it is. If anything, he has some star power still where Kushida wins, elevates him, and that's kind of where he's at right now. He's doing the job for guys to get him over basically at this point. But it doesn't take away from the match. The match was very solid match, a very good match, kept the night going of just great match after great match after great match. And this is right there with any match on the card.
Yeah. that's pretty much it. There's enough said on that one. 3 Mickey J's for that match. Yeah, we hope that Velveteen Dream can kind of recover from all this and get back to the somewhere close to it. It's wait and see at this point. So it's not much else you could do about it. But Kushida, let's see where they book him going after this. Continue the aggressive style that he has. But it should be interesting to see how this is done. But he's doing that. It's a better look for Kushida. Makes him come off a little bit better. And you just got to indoctrinate him into the new audience, the WWE crowd, the common viewer that doesn't know about him in Japan. So next thing on the show, NXT Cruiserweight Championship match. You had Santos Escobar, the champion, going against Isaiah Swerve Scott. Probably Isaiah Swerve Scott's last chance at the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Now, this match, I thought it was very, very good. I'm going to start off by saying it was 3 Mickey J's. Now, the only problem, my nitpick here in this match is that they used Swerve himself used pretty much everything he had in his arsenal and couldn't get a pin. I mean, he used everything he could, any move he could possibly think of to try to get a win here, and he couldn't get the win. The Legado Fantasma had some interference, and he got some help. Interesting enough, match from Ashante Adonis. And Ashante Adonis had a promo after the match as well. So we'll see what happens with Ashante Adonis going forward here. But odd that he would come out and just help Isaiah Swerve Scott. Maybe he's getting into the title picture immediately because he looks like he's gonna be a 205 guy. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, nitpicky that Swerve pretty much did all these big high flying moves. None of them got a pin. So those things tend to diminish the moves after a while when you keep doing all these big moves, big spots, and then none of it, creates a pin. The ending was kind of lackluster.
There was like a botch there. It felt like
they were on the apron. Swerve got knocked over by Escobar, and hit his head on the exposed part of the turnbuckle, the connector piece that connects the post to the turnbuckle. He hit his head there, and then he was pretty much knocked out. He got knocked out after that from Santos Escobar, and that was pretty much the end. So it was kind of lackluster, but it was like building. It kept building all the big moves, the false finishes. Swerve couldn't believe that he wasn't getting the pins on some of these moves. It does diminish some of the high-flying moves that he does because he doesn't get a pin off of them. But Swerve did kick out of the Fantasma's move, the Phantom Driver. So nobody's ever done that yet. So that's a big thing there. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of false finishes here, a lot of big moves that didn't get a pin, but still. Tremendous match. Escobar gets the win, still cruiserweight champion. Let's see what Scott goes after this. He's got his chances to win. He hasn't done it. So, but either way, 3 Mickey J's for this match.
Yeah, this match definitely 3 Mickey J's. It was, again, kept the night going of just good matches. I'm going to repeat that a lot because this was a great event when it just came to pure wrestling.
Yeah.
Escobar, I think they're just going to make him, he's adding credibility to the Cruiserweight Championship, which coming in before he won it was kind of a joke. It was just kind of like either a tournament or for 205 that nobody watches. He's adding more credibility to it. It's becoming more important. And the fact that he was so unstoppable in this match and couldn't be defeated kind of elevates, again, we're in a mode in NXT where we're trying to elevate people, elevate wrestlers, elevate titles. We're trying to they have some talent that left to the main roster, and they're kind of building these younger guys and these new guys, and this is what they're doing now. So that we're in that elevate mode of we're trying to build our the brand back up, kind of like college football teams when their best players go in the draft or whatever, kind of the same deal. So we're in that mode. The match was really good. I think Santos Escobar, like I said, adds credibility to the title. I think he's going to just make it a huge, have a huge run with it. Him and the league are going to do what they have to do and kind of dominate this entire division. So I'm excited to see how they keep developing his character, how they develop the Cruiserweight Championship, how they keep developing the group as a whole. And I think it's over with Swerve Scott. I think that kind of, you can't really come back from that loss where you gave him everything and you couldn't win. You're just, you're not in his level. Sorry, just move on. We'll see what this Adonis kid has, or maybe it goes somewhere else. But I really think it is Adonis.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Adonis. But I mean, Escobar is impressive. He's impressive in the ring. He's impressive on the mic. I'm digging it, and the fact that we even care about a Cruiserweight Championship match, that's saying something right there.
That's a big accomplishment in and of itself, is that you actually care about the Cruiserweight Championship and who's holding it currently. But another thing that goes for Santos Escobar is that he speaks tremendous English. That's another thing that really helps him out in terms of what they can do with him and how they can move him around, because he does speak tremendous English. So kudos to him. But yeah, he's still Cruiserweight champion. Probably Adonis looks like seemingly the next thing. But yeah, because he came out here to help Swerve Scott attack Legado Fantasma, so most likely he's going after that title eventually in the near future. But 3 Mickey J's for that match. Yeah, and so, like you said, Santos Escobar does give credibility to the championship in of itself. So next thing on the show, we had the NXT Women's Championship match. Io Shirai, the champion, goes against Candice LeRae in the Gargano family's second chance to win a title. That being said, very, very good match. You start off by saying it's 3.5 Mickey J's for this match. Shirai is just an absolutely, I keep saying this every time I see her wrestle, I keep saying the same thing. She's an absolutely tremendous professional wrestler. And everything she does is believable. I do find it funny that when she does a springboard, she hits that bottom rope before she hits the top rope. I find it kind of comical and funny. She's short, but I find it kind of funny because she hit the 619 that went for like a missile dropkick springboard, and she bounced off the bottom rope, then top rope. I find it kind of funny, but whatever. Okay, so we had 2 ref bumps here. You have Candice LeRae has Io Shirai in a submission hold. She's, trying to fight off. I did like this one spot because she's trying to fight off Shirai from, sometimes when they go for the rope break, it just seems like, why can't the person just kind of hold their ground? Why they keep letting them drag? So it was smart by LeRae to kind of put her heels in the ground a little bit to try to stop it from happening. But either way, it shows Shirai's fight to actually get to the rope. Once she gets to the rope, I did like this from Candice LeRae to hold that count. Remember, you have a 5 count before you get disqualified. So it's going 1, 2, 3. Once he hits 4, she breaks it. But when she breaks it, she does it aggressively enough that hits the referee in the face, and the referee drops down. Then Io Shirai would get the upper hand. She would go for the moonsault off the top. Interesting way this happened, because normally when you do a dive off the top, the knees come up and then it hits you somewhere. This was straight feet up, hit her in the face. She did a flip into the referee. The referee got thrown out the ring. I thought that was one of the better ref bumps I've seen. And it makes the most sense for some reason, because most of the other ref bumps don't really make a lot of sense and they seem kind of unnecessary and planned. But this one was timed perfectly. The referee gets knocked out the ring by Io Shirai. Then you have the Candice LeRae hit her finish on Io Shirai. There's no referee. Here comes Johnny Gargano wearing a referee shirt. He comes down, does a fast count, but still Io Shirai manages to kick out. Later on, the referee would get up, challenge Johnny Gargano, which was kind of funny because you seem like, give me back my shirt. That's mine. Even though he has his shirt on, it doesn't make any sense. Whatever. I thought that was kind of stupid. But that gives time for Candice LeRae to hit Io Shirai in the head with the NXT Women's Championship, but Io Shirai still kicks out. Then Io Shirai will get the upper hand and hit her finish, win the match. Still your NXT Women's Champion, Io Shirai. But a lot going on after the match. But 3.5 Mickey J's for this one. And what do you think about the match?
Yeah, 3.5 Mickey J's as well. I thought this was Candice LeRae's best job as a heel. She definitely did great work as a heel. She cheated. She had a mean streak on her. This was her coming out party as a heel, I felt. I mean, it's been okay so far. Johnny's been carrying it as the heel, but she did a great job in this match where you felt she was doing cheap heelish things, and I love that. Io Shirai is so very good in the ring. She's one of the best in the world, man or women. I mean, she's really, really good. I mean, I didn't know she was that good. She keeps getting better and keeps surprising me more and more. The match was a little hectic at the end, a lot going on, but still worked for me. I still was okay with it. Sometimes too much pomp and circumstances like WWE likes to do. Sometimes on Raw and SmackDown doesn't work that well, but here it worked out pretty good. It didn't ruin the match for me. It still made it interesting. I like the fact that Johnny came out and they still couldn't make it work. This could lead to more, just them getting angrier and doing more heelish things now that they don't have any titles again, and they're just kind of they'll do the weird couple thing. But I liked what Wade Barrett said. She came out, it was Candice Gargano, like she was a cheating little heel. So great job by her. Io Shirai. A lot happened at the end of the match, and even after the match, we had 2, comebacks.
Yeah, we had basically 2 new challengers. A new challenger approaches similar to it is in Super Smash Brothers. So at first, they would be the screen as to where the fans are. Now the Capitol Wrestling Center is where you're at right now. In the Performance Center, they have the Thunderdome same screen that goes all the way around. Pops out Toni Storm from NXT UK, former NXT UK Women's Champion. She says it's Toni time in NXT. She will return to NXT, and she's coming after Io Shirai. So big time stuff First challenger. Next challenger, you have, they've been teasing a return or a debut for somebody who's been driving a motorcycle. It looks like a drone is following them, and the screen is all green. That motorcycle pulls up to the Performance Center and comes out. And it is none other than Ember Moon, the returning Ember Moon. She is back in NXT, which makes more sense. She wasn't being used properly in the main roster anyways. She got injured. Now she's back. But two very good, talented in-ring performers in Toni Storm and Ember Moon, both vying for the women's championship. Now I think they're going to really switch up the women's division. I'm looking for, with the draft happening, Rhea Ripley going to SmackDown. Seems like the most likely landing spot for her is SmackDown. And yeah, I think they're really going to shake up NXT women's division, and they're bringing Toni Storm and Ember Moon back in there to really kind of shake things up and revitalize the women's division. Not that I'm saying that it needed revitalization, but since they want to revitalize women's divisions on the main roster with people that are in NXT, they got to bring these people, these women in.
New rivalries, that's what we'll call it. And shout out to Ember Moon coming out looking like she's a Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
I dug the jacket. Good job on that one.
Definitely did there. But yeah, 3.5 Mickie James for the women's championship match. Io Shirai, still your reigning, defending NXT women's champion. Now let's get to the next match, the main event, NXT championship match. You had Finn Balor going against Kyle O'Reilly of the Undisputed Era. This is interesting stuff going on here. Now, we don't really like to do this too much, but what we're going to do is we're going to give this match right off the bat 5. That's 5.
No, that's the max. That's the max. You cannot get any greater than this.
We do not do 6. These men busted their ass. Yes. Fought hard.
I mean, I'm sorry, cut you off, but I honestly thought we would never ever give away 5. I thought 5 was just unreachable. But my God.
I mean, it was unreachable. It really was. I mean, it was such a tremendous match, and it wasn't that they did anything crazy or massive high spots or anything like that. It was just a tremendous wrestling match. They worked body parts. Kyle O'Reilly
laid their shit in,
working the arm, the left arm of Finn Balor at one point, working the knee. And look, let me just talk about Kyle O'Reilly real quick. This man looks like he puts so much effort into every move that he does, especially his strikes. Now, I want to point out a couple things, subtle things that Kyle O'Reilly does when he's doing transitions or when he's moving around doing reversals. His subtle foot movement, where he sweeps legs in and out. It's obviously from his jiu-jitsu background and the way he does all that, but looks like he puts such ton effort and really revs up the kicks that he pulls out, which in turn make the kicks look more realistic, more real. Obviously, we know he's pulling them at the end, but the setup, the wind up, that's when he brings those kicks in, very tremendous. But I really like his subtle foot movement, the way he moves his feet in and out when he comes in and out of reversals. I thought that was very good stuff. The way he put his knee on top of Finn Balor's chest a lot, or on top of body parts. Now, one of the worst things I've seen in wrestling is where they either manipulate the wrist, put it on the ground, and they kind of just leave it there, and then they stomp on it or something like that. And why doesn't the guy on the floor just move it? Smart as the Kyle O'Reilly, he puts body parts on top to hold it in place before he stomps down on it. Now, these are subtle little things that he does that make it more realistic, more believable, and more plausible for the stuff that he does pull off in this match. Now, both guys ended up bloody out of the mouth. Finn Balor was reported that he's going to get an x-ray done on his jaw to see what's wrong with his jaw, because he did get bloodied up pretty bad towards the end of this match in his mouth. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it could be a dislocated jaw. I don't know how long those injuries tend to last, but it doesn't seem like something that maybe he'll relinquish the title for. Hopefully not. But yeah, I mean, this is a top-notch match. Match of the year candidate, I think, hands down. Now, interesting, the ending of this match. You had Finn Balor coming out on top and retaining his NXT championship, but what this match did was propel Kyle O'Reilly to the casual wrestling fan, or just the WWE fan / NXT fan who's never seen him in Ring of Honor anywhere else. This is basically showcasing him as a legitimate top guy, title contender. It's exactly what it did. Hands down, exactly what it did. Now, interesting, after the fact, you see the match end, the show of respect between Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor. You have Ridge Holland bringing out a battered Adam Cole and just depositing him there on ringside, leaving.
And McAfee punted him again.
Yeah, and then here comes Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish to kind of like run out and see what the hell happened, and the show fades to black. Now, it is confirmed already. If you don't know it yet, Undisputed Era are baby faces. They've completed the turn into the babyface role, and that's where they are. They were the kind of the cool heels before, right? Yeah. That's what they were kind of running as, but now they're baby faces. Finn Balor's obviously kind of seems like a tweener, but more a heel. But Balor's still your champion. 5 Mickey J's, a first time ever. Remember this, history in the making. 5 Mickey J's for this match.
I mean, I can't really add more. You kind of said it perfectly with what you said. I think this makes Kyle O'Reilly a huge star. People saw what he's about. I mean, you can't find any holes in his work. His stuff it looks real. It's got psychology. It makes wrestling. Sometimes you watch match, you're like, come on, guys, really? And then, this is the opposite of the spot monkeys all over the place where they're flying around and everything looks staged. This was just 2 guys busting each other's asses. Everything looked like it hurt. It did hurt, obviously. Guys ended up with bad jaws and bloody. It was painful. It was just a bust ass, hard match. It was, hard style, strong style. It was all Japan wrestling. It was everything. It was just crazy. I'm sure Meltzer sold his tighty whities of how Japan this whole match felt. It was that hard hitting. It was great. I loved it. I think Kyle O'Reilly is a star. It almost feels like we've been wasting him in a tag team for so long that it's like they should have just been a single star like 10 years ago, when he first came in. But whatever, this can build the Undisputed Era, even elevate everybody. I mean, again, it's a big elevate thing, but 5 Mickey J's. 5 Mickey J's. We thought we'd never do it. Match of the year, without question. There's only a few months left in this year, and there hasn't been anything remarkable really all year because it's been the worst year ever. But this match elevated the entire year because it was that good. That's all I got to say about that. It's that good.
It's definitely one of NXT's greatest matches of all time. So when they come out with a video of DVD on the network or whatever of that, this is going to be on that list very high up. It's up there with the Gargano Ciampa matches. It's up there with Gargano Andrade match. It's up there with a lot of these big matches that NXT has had. Tremendous match. History in the making. 5 Mickey J's on this one. Still your NXT champion, Finn Balor. Interesting what Ridge Holland is going to do after this. Is he going to feud with Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, or will he jump into a feud with Finn Balor? I don't think so, not yet, but he's obviously feuding with the Undisputed Era. So we'll see what they're doing. I mean, it seems like they're pulling the trigger on Ridge Holland. They seem to be very high on him.
Seems a little early to me, but all right, we'll see.
It does seem. But guys, 5 Mickey J's for that. Let's talk really quickly. I want to point out a couple of things about the Capitol Wrestling Center. It's an homage to the Capitol Wrestling Corporation. Obviously, that was the precursor to WWF. All that. So the precursor to that. So they're paying homage to that. They gutted part of the Performance Center where the ring was before. They were doing the lockdown shows, and they changed it up. Now they put the Thunderdome aspect to it. They have fans. They're limited fans. Some are
engaged.
Some are trainees. Some are family members of other people, and some are actual, fans. Very limited. But they have the plexiglass with steel cage on front of it. Each one is like a separate pod for people to sit in. Very interesting. Also, I want to point out the cool effect that made the matches seem bigger was when they shut the lights down. They had the ring announcer in the ring. They had the thing come down from the top that had the microphone on it.
Old school.
Very old school look to it. I enjoyed that as well. So cool little things they added. Not really sure why they felt like it had to be Capitol Wrestling, homage to that. I don't really understand that part.
I mean, NXT's been, Triple H likes to throw in the old school stuff.
He does, yeah.
In Your House, we brought it back. He's bringing back Halloween Havoc.
Yes, that's a big thing right there.
With Shotzi Blackheart. I'm not sure if it's an event or what, but Shotzi Blackheart's hosting it or something, or she's in charge of it. I don't know what that means, but Halloween Havoc is classic WCW. If you don't know, you need to go back and watch old Halloween Havoc.
Which we've been waiting for Halloween Havoc to make a comeback in WWE form. So thank God NXT got a hold of it, not main roster, because you saw what they did with Starrcade. So let's see what happens with with Halloween Havoc. But super excited about that. I mean, you're right. He likes to pay homage to a lot of stuff. He likes the older style. So I see what he did here. It's cool to see. Let's see how they do it going forward with their next TV tapings and all that stuff like that. But we'll see what happens with NXT Halloween Havoc. That's the video we have for you guys today. Our recap and review of NXT TakeOver 31 live from the Capitol Wrestling Center at the WWE Performance Center. Appreciate you guys for watching. Mayor Fitness Work for Building. Do the job.
Later, Mox.
Subscribe and like.